crack it.
Hey, what's up guys? Before anything, I just want to thank you for coming back to the channel. If you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoyed the content, and let's just get right into today's video. Today we're going to be talking about movement tricks in Anthem. Now, before we get into the tricks, I just want to say that everything I'm about to show you here does not work for the Colossus Javelin. I'm very sorry for you Colossus guys, but unfortunately, because the Colossus does not have any dodges, the mechanic doesn't work for him. It does work for the Storm, the Interceptor, and the Ranger. Mainly the same with just very minor differences in each one, but it will primarily be the same. Now, what movement trick am I talking about? This trick is actually how to make your Javelin move faster and waste less heat. So, for instance, you guys know that when you fly around on your Javelin, there's the little white bar beneath your Javelin that slowly fills up until it gets red and you overheat. This little trick I'm about to show you will not only make you move faster, so if there's someone in a Javelin in front of you, you will catch up to them and surpass them because you will be going faster, but you will also be able to move farther and consume less heat, making your Javelin's movement more efficient overall. And this movement trick is primarily aimed at those people that are just really impatient, because we all know that in every game, including Destiny and Division, there's always those guys that they gotta get to the objective first, they gotta interact with whatever object it is first, they want to be ahead of everyone, they want to feel like they're leading the pack, like they know what they're doing, they're better than everybody. So here it is guys. So here you see me flying normally, and you can tell that when I'm flying normally, I'm tapping the B button or circle on PlayStation. You can't dodge forward. But while I'm flying, or after I jump, I can dodge forward. I can dodge to the sides, and I can dodge backwards as I'm walking on the ground normally. But anytime that you are in flight, you will not be allowed to dodge forward. And the dodge does give you movement speed. It gives you a very quick burst of momentum forward. Now here is where I've found this trick. The thing is that you can break your flight with jumping, but you can also break your flight with melees. You can do your ground melees and you can do air melees. Every Javelin except the Colossus has both a ground and air melee. Now, the thing about the air melee is that while you are flying, you can actually break your flight with a melee. And you can follow up your melee with a dodge forward, giving you a quick boost of fast momentum forward. And of course the dodges are faster than actually flying. Now, as you guys see, those quick movement bursts forward, and here's what it looks like when you melee right out of flight to break out of your flight. Now, just showing it to you guys again so that you can see exactly what it looks like. I'm sure you've all done it plenty of times, but here it is. You fly, melee, and at the very beginning of your melee, you must press forward and dodge. It's very fast. You have to do it very fast. If you take a second too long, you will not dodge. You will actually follow through with the melee attack. And here's what it looks like when you're actually doing it. You're actually chaining it together perfectly. Just one. But you can actually continue, like I just said, chaining it. You can basically spam this, so you can keep constantly getting that quick, fast burst of forward momentum because of the dodge. And here you go, guys. That's what it actually looks like when you're doing it fluently. Now, the Ranger can spam this a little bit more than the Storm. The Storm has a bit of a slower one, but it still gives you a good boost of momentum. And if you guys pay attention to my heat bar, while you are in the motion of the melee and the motion of the quick burst of momentum forward because of the dodge, you are not accumulating any heat. You are getting fast forward momentum without wasting heat. Now here, I'm just going to show you guys how it's actually very heat saving. You consume very little heat with this. Now, it may look a little funny to you guys, it may look a little dumb, you may question or think like whether this is really worth it or not, but for some people who are very picky and want to be extremely fast or efficient with how they move, they must get ahead of the pack. That is the trick. And as a bonus, I'm going to show you guys a little extra gameplay of me using the Storm and the Interceptor and showing you how far of a distance you can go without using this trick, and then how far of a distance you can go after using the trick. And you will see that there is a pretty great distance in how far you can go before your javelin overheats. Now, like I said, unfortunately this doesn't work for the Colossus, but I will be looking to see if I can find any sort of movement tricks for the Colossus. And you guys can try this when you're doing strongholds, missions, anything you want, and you will definitely see that if there is a javelin ahead of you, you will gain on them. You're going to catch up to them, and you're going to pass them. Now, if this video gets around a bit, it may get annoying to see people doing this crap in front of you all the time to try and get ahead of you, because there will definitely always be those people. I personally am sort of one of them. I like to do this a lot myself just because I know of the trick, and I don't like overheating so much, especially when I am trying to stay ahead of the pack. But I'm going to get into that gameplay with the Storm and the Interceptor now. Now, the thing about the Storm is that there is his dodge has a bigger cooldown time than the Ranger. The Ranger, you can almost spam it. So with the Storm, you kind of have to do your melee attack, your dodge forward, and then wait maybe 2 seconds before you can do it again. Whereas the Ranger, it's almost continuous, back to back, non-stop. And the Interceptor, of course, because you can do 3 dodges any direction, it is super OP. You will never be able to outrun an Interceptor that does this trick ever, because you do the melee immediately after doing the melee. Press and hold the dodge button with the Interceptor forward so that you can do the 3 very quick and successive dashes forward, and you're going to be blazing across the damn battlefield. Now I'm going to roll that clip of me actually using the Storm and the Interceptor with the movement trick, and let you guys decide for yourselves whether you think it's worth it or not. Alright guys, now here I am on my Storm. Now I'm going to try and stand in this very same spot when I'm doing this run with both the Storm and the Interceptor, but right here all I'm going to do is jump up and fly forward and not use the movement trick, so that way you guys can see how far my Storm gets just regularly without any heat conservation or anything. Now I am flying a little angled downwards, but not angled down enough that my suit will cool off. It looks like, yep, I've overheated right here. Right here at this little waterfall. Okay, let me look around for maybe a landmark. So I want to say right here, this little cavern right there, between Fort Tarsus and that little cavern, is exactly where the Storm stopped without using the movement trick. Alright, here we are with the Storm again, and this time we're going to fly as far as we can, but using the movement trick. Now remember guys, in case you forgot or you decided to fast forward into the video to see what it was, while you are flying you want to break flight by hitting the melee button, and immediately, very quickly after you hit the melee button, start tapping on your dodge forward. Now you guys can kind of see how the dodge forward with the Storm is very effective. It kind of jolts you forward. And I'm trying to fight the wind here to stay up, as the wind is trying to push me down because I've reached the roof of the map. But as you guys saw, I went very far past where the cavern was that we stopped before earlier. Now that I'm using the movement trick, I was able to move faster and use less heat. So this method is honestly a very effective method of moving around the map if you don't mind constantly spamming those 2 buttons, and it honestly makes you move faster. Now I'm going to roll some gameplay of me using the Interceptor without the trick and with the trick so that you guys can see the difference. And with the Interceptor, because of his 3 consecutive dodges forward, you will definitely see a very drastic difference in the movement speed, more than you would with the Storm and with the Ranger. But keep in mind that you will see that the timing is a little different with the Storm and the Ranger and Interceptor because they have somewhat different cooldowns on their melee attack. So with one or the other you may be able to spam this movement trick faster, and with one or the other you may have to wait an additional second or two before you can use the melee dodge forward trick again. So now let's just cut right into the Interceptor gameplay. Alright, so here we are on the Interceptor, and I of course have saved the fastest for last. Now this is of course just the very first run. I'm just flying as far as I can until the suit overheats and we can't go any further. That way you guys get a picture of more or less how far you can go without this trick. As you guys can see, I'm overheating, so I'm just going to bring it down because I'm going to overheat in like half a second anyway. And I stopped at the little waterfall before the cavern, basically the exact same spot as the storm. Now you could possibly go a little further if you have components that increase your base heat threshold, but I don't have that on. Here we are using the movement trick, guys. And as you can see, the Interceptor is just ridiculously fast. Using this movement trick and the consecutive 3 dodge forward, and look at how much heat I've used. I'm about to hit the cavern right now, and I've only used about half my heat. I'm going ridiculously fast, and there's just absolutely no way that any other Javelin will be able to compete with you or keep up with you at all if you are using this trick. The only one that will be able to is another Interceptor, and they're going to have to be doing this movement trick. There is no other way. But as you guys can see, this is the fastest way to get across the map. I have gone ridiculously far and at very fast speed. And so, really, that's the whole point of this video, guys. Just showing you this trick to be more efficient with your Javelin movement, how to traverse the world of Anthem a little faster while maintaining your suit's heat for longer, allowing you to travel farther in the end. And of course, like I said earlier, this is really for those people that they have to be first, like they want to be ahead of everybody, blah blah blah. Maybe they just want to seem like the guy who knows all the tricks, he knows like everything, and you know what I mean. You guys know exactly what I mean, because there's plenty of people that do it on Destiny and Division as well. They rush to the objectives, they have to be the first ones, blah blah blah. So just a little movement trick for you guys. I'm sorry once again for the people who use Colossus due to him not having a dodge. It's kind of hard to find any movement tricks, but I will continue to look for other little tricks within all 4 Javelins to see if I can come up with anything else for you guys that may be helpful and make your movement more efficient, maybe faster. Now, I can't promise you guys, but I will of course look for more. If you guys found this video helpful, you liked it in any way, if you thought this little trick was cool, whether you knew about it or you didn't know about it, let me know. I personally didn't see any videos on YouTube about it, but I was able to find this out in game, and of course that is why I am posting it here for other guys who, like me, who would actually use this. Well, thank you guys for your time. I hope you subscribe, and leave me any feedback you have in the comments below, whether it's good criticism, bad criticism, games you want to see me cover, whether it's Anthem or something else. Anything you guys have, just make sure to leave it down in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.